Years of smoke, steel, and blood had carved him into a man who didn't flinch easily. But nothing could have prepared him for what he saw when he pushed open the bedroom door. Her, his fiancée, and his best friend, no, his brother in everything but blood. Their bodies tangled in a way that burned itself into his mind. Her head thrown back against his friend's shoulder, his hands on her hips, their breaths coming fast. A vision so raw it carved into him deeper than any bullet ever had. For a moment, the world slowed. He didn't shout, didn't fire, didn't even breathe. He just stood there, watching the betrayal unravel in front of him. The kind that couldn't be undone. The kind that turned love into poison with a single glance. Betrayal bleeds deeper than bullets. His chest tightened, rage clawing at his ribs, but beneath it, something more dangerous stirred. Desire, grief, confusion. She wasn't just a woman to him. She was the only soft thing in his world of shadows. And now, that softness had turned sharp enough to cut him open. When their eyes finally met, hers widened in horror. "Adrian," she whispered, his name breaking on her lips like a prayer gone wrong. The best friend, the traitor, froze, guilt flashing across his face before he tried to mask it with arrogance. But Adrian saw it. He saw everything. And in that moment, he knew two things. 1. Trust was dead. 2. Tonight, something else would die too. His hand curled around the gun at his side, the metal cold and steady. He didn't lift it, yet. The silence cracked into tension so thick it felt like a blade hovering in the air. She tried to step forward, trembling, tears brimming in her eyes. "It's not what it looks like." But Adrian's laugh was jagged, hollow. "No? Then tell me, does betrayal look different in your world?" The room pulsed with danger. Rage became his heartbeat. Lust became his weapon. And even as blood threatened to spill, he knew this was just the beginning. If you were in Adrian's shoes right now, standing in that doorway, would you walk away or pull the trigger? Tell me in the comments, because this story is about to get darker than you think. Welcome to MG's Love Stories, where passion burns, hearts break, and you can't stop watching. Don't just listen, feel it. Like this story? Share, subscribe, and let's dive in. The city was his long before the betrayal. Adrian Cade had carved it out of smoke and steel, out of bloodied knuckles and whispered deals in backroom bars. He wasn't born with power. He fought for it, tooth and nail, until the streets bent under his name. By 25, he wasn't just feared. He was untouchable. They called him the Ghost King, a shadow no one could outrun, a ruler no one could topple. Every gunman in the city owed him loyalty. Every club owner whispered his name with reverence, and every rival knew better than to test him. But beneath the reputation, Adrian lived by one rule: trust the ones who would bleed for you. And no one had bled for him more than Marcus. Marcus was his right hand, his childhood friend turned brother-in-arms. Where Adrian was sharp, Marcus was reckless. Where Adrian was ice, Marcus was fire. They had fought wars together, built their empire brick by bloody brick. Marcus wasn't just his best friend. He was family. And then there was her, Elena. She had come into his world like a spark in gasoline, too bright, too soft for a man like him. She was the daughter of an old money family, all pearls and pressed dresses when he first saw her at a gallery opening. She didn't belong in his world, not with her quiet laugh and eyes that softened even the hardest parts of him. But she chose him anyway. Adrian never understood why. Maybe she liked the danger. Maybe she liked the way his hand claimed her waist like no one ever had. Or maybe she just wanted to see if she could tame the Ghost King himself. And in a way, she had. Nights with her weren't like the rest of his life. When she lay tangled in his sheets, the city's noise faded. Her voice calmed the storm. Her touch steadied the rage that lived inside him. She was the only softness he let himself have, the only mercy he allowed. Marcus had teased him relentlessly. "Ghost King with a queen." He'd laugh, glass in hand. "Never thought I'd see the day." Adrian would just smirk because he knew better than to deny it. Elena wasn't just a lover. She was his future. He had even bought the ring himself. An emerald-cut diamond, sharp and flawless, like the woman he thought she was. When he slipped it on her finger, Elena had cried, whispering yes against his lips. That night, for the first time in years, Adrian believed he could have more than blood and bullets. For a while, it almost felt like peace. But peace was a lie in his world. Because in the shadows, Marcus's loyalty was already crumbling. And Elena's laughter was already drifting into someone else's arms. Adrian remembered the first time he saw Marcus look at her differently. It was subtle, a glance too long, a smile that lingered. But Adrian dismissed it. Marcus was his brother. Elena was his future wife. Some lines, he thought, could never be crossed. He was wrong. The streets grew restless that year, new gangs trying to test his crown, old enemies clawing their way back. Adrian fought them all, and he won. But every night, when he came home bruised and bloodied, Elena's arms wrapped around him. Her kiss on his lips, her whispers of "I love you," it made the war worth it. He didn't see the cracks forming in the dark. Didn't see the way Marcus slipped into her orbit when he wasn't looking. Didn't hear the secret conversations. Didn't feel the betrayal creeping closer with every heartbeat. Because men like Adrian didn't expect betrayal from family. And they didn't imagine the woman they loved could ever let another man touch her. But fate doesn't care about loyalty. Fate doesn't care about love. And the night Adrian caught them, Elena gasping under Marcus's touch, fate finally demanded its payment. What he once thought of as trust now tasted like ashes in his mouth. Adrian didn't pull the trigger that night. He wanted to. God. He wanted nothing more than to watch Marcus's blood stain his floor, to see Elena crumble under the weight of her betrayal. But the rage in him was not the kind that burned out quickly. It was the kind that lingered, coiled and patient, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. So he lowered the gun. Not out of mercy, out of cruelty. "Get out," he said, his voice low, dangerous. "Both of you." Elena's lips trembled, her diamond ring catching the dim light as she reached for him. But Adrian's glare stopped her cold. Marcus hesitated, his hand tightening around her wrist as though she were something worth protecting. Adrian almost laughed. The man had no idea what kind of storm he'd just walked into. They left, and Adrian was alone with the silence once again. But silence never lasted long in his world. The days that followed were painted in blood. Rivals thought his distraction meant weakness, so they came for him. They came with knives, with bullets, with threats whispered through the city's veins. And Adrian met them all with fire. Every fight, every kill, every scream that echoed through abandoned warehouses. He poured his rage into it. And when the blood stopped dripping, when the smoke cleared, he found himself thinking of her. Of Elena's tears, of Elena's touch, of Elena's body, arching under his even when her heart belonged elsewhere. He hated that he still wanted her. Hated that his body remembered her warmth even as his mind replayed her betrayal. Rage became his heartbeat. Lust became his weapon. And so, when she came back to him, because she would come back, he knew it. Adrian already had a plan. It was 3 nights later when he heard the soft knock at his door. He didn't answer at first. He let her knock again, desperation threading through every sound. Finally, he opened it, leaning against the frame with a smirk that didn't reach his eyes. Elena stood there, mascara smudged, lips trembling. She looked nothing like the polished woman he'd fallen in love with. She looked wrecked. "Adrian," she whispered, "please, let me explain." He stepped aside. She walked in like a ghost, her hands clutching her coat tight around her. She didn't see the way his jaw tightened, the way his fists curled. "Explain." His voice was smooth, almost amused. "Go on, then. Explain how my brother in arms had his hands where only mine should have been." Her tears fell fast. "It was a mistake. I swear He moved closer, pinning her with his stare. "A mistake." He caught her chin in his hand, forcing her to look at him. "Mistakes are spilled drinks, Elena. Mistakes are forgotten meetings. What you did," his grip tightened, "was a choice." She sobbed, but he silenced her with a kiss. It wasn't soft. It wasn't loving. It was brutal, consuming, a punishment disguised as passion. She tried to resist, but her body betrayed her, just as it always had. Her fingers curled into his shirt, pulling him closer even as tears wet her cheeks. When he pulled away, his smile was sharp. "Do you see the problem now, sweetheart? Even when you've betrayed me, even when you should hate me, you still want me." Her breath hitched, shame mixing with desire, and Adrian reveled in it. That night was war disguised as love. Her moans were tangled with apologies, his touch both cruel and tender. Every kiss was a punishment, every gasp a reminder that she belonged to him, no matter whose arms she had fallen into. He left marks on her skin, scars of possession she couldn't hide. When it was over, she lay trembling against him, eyes swollen, heart shattered. "Do you love him?" Adrian asked into the silence. Her lips parted. No sound came out. "Do you love him?" he repeated, his tone lethal. Finally, she whispered, "No, it was never love." Adrian studied her, searching her face for lies. But all he saw was fear. All he smelled was guilt. And for now, that was enough. He brushed a strand of hair from her face, his touch deceptively gentle. "Good, because you're mine, Elena. Always mine. And I'm going to make sure you never forget that." But vengeance was patient. Marcus still walked free. Marcus still breathed the same air. And Adrian had no intention of letting that last forever. So he played his game carefully. He let Elena stay, let her believe she had a chance to earn forgiveness. He let her kiss him, touch him, whisper apologies into his skin. But deep down, Adrian knew this wasn't forgiveness. This was punishment. This was possession. And when Marcus came knocking, because Adrian knew he would, there would be no mercy left to give. Tell me this, if someone betrayed you like Elena did, would you take them back to punish them, or cut them out forever? Drop your thoughts below. I want to see where you stand. Adrian always knew Marcus wouldn't stay silent for long. It happened on a rainy night. The kind of rain that washed the city in silver streaks, hissing against glass, soaking the streets in reflections of neon and smoke. Adrian was in his penthouse, glass of whiskey in hand, Elena pacing the room like a trapped bird. "You can't keep me here," she snapped, though her voice shook with exhaustion. Adrian smirked over the rim of his glass. "Can't? Or won't?" She glared, eyes flashing with the ghost of the woman he'd once known, proud, untouchable. But that ghost was gone. In her place stood a woman torn in half, bound by guilt and desire. "You don't love me anymore?" she whispered, softer this time. Adrian set the glass down. He crossed the room, each step deliberate, until he stood inches from her trembling form. His hand slid around her throat, not tight, but enough to make her breath falter. "Love." His voice was low, lethal. "Sweetheart, I don't need to love you. I need you to remember who you belong to." Her lips parted, a protest dying on her tongue when he kissed her hard, punishing. And still, her body melted into him. Rage and lust collided until there was no difference. And then the knock came, sharp, measured. Adrian froze, his grip loosening as he turned toward the door. Elena's eyes widened with panic, and that told him everything. She knew who it was. Marcus. Adrian's smirk returned, colder this time. Perfect timing. When Adrian opened the door, Marcus stood there, rain dripping from his leather jacket, eyes shadowed but defiant. "We need to talk," Marcus said. Adrian stepped aside, gesturing him in with mocking politeness. "By all means, come in. Join the reunion." Elena flinched as Marcus entered, her body tense, her eyes darting between the two men who owned her fate. The air thickened, heavy with history, brotherhood, betrayal, desire. Marcus broke it first. "Adrian, I didn't mean for it to happen." His jaw clenched. "I didn't come here to fight. I came here to fix this." Adrian laughed, the sound sharp and humorless. "Fix this? You fucked my fiancée in my bed. Marcus, that's not a broken chair you can glue back together. That's treason." Marcus's fists clenched, but his voice stayed steady. I've stood by you through everything. I bled for you. I killed for you. And when I fell, when I made the mistake of touching her, it wasn't because I wanted to take what's yours. It was because she was already falling away from you." Elena gasped, shaking her head. "Marcus, don't." But it was too late. Adrian's expression darkened, eyes narrowing like a predator's. "Already falling away?" His voice dripped venom. "Tell me, Elena, were you falling? Or were you jumping?" Tears welled in her eyes. She tried to speak, but no words came. The silence was enough. Adrian moved fast, slamming Marcus against the wall with a force that rattled the glass shelves. His forearm pressed against his former brother's throat, gun drawn and pressed to his ribs. "You were supposed to be my family?" Adrian growled, his voice trembling with fury. "And you," he turned his gaze to Elena, "you were supposed to be my home." Elena sobbed, reaching out. "Adrian, please." But Marcus's voice cut through, strained under the weight of Adrian's arm. "Then kill me. If you can do it now." The gun pressed harder into his ribs. For a moment, Adrian wanted nothing more than to pull the trigger, to watch Marcus fall. But instead, he laughed. Cold, cruel. "No, death is too easy." He shoved Marcus away, stepping back, holstering the gun with deliberate calm. "You don't get the relief of dying. You're going to live knowing you crossed the Ghost King and didn't have the power to finish the job." Marcus coughed, straightening, his eyes blazing. "This isn't over, Adrian. Not by a long shot." Adrian smirked, pouring himself another drink. "Good. Let's make it interesting." The weeks that followed were a slow-burning war. Marcus gathered those loyal to him, turning whispers into rebellion. Adrian crushed rivals by day and punished Elena by night, their twisted passion a cycle of need and resentment. Every kiss tasted of hate, every touch left bruises, and yet neither could stop. One night, as Elena lay beside him, her body marked by his possession, she whispered the words he never expected. "I'm pregnant." The world stopped. Adrian turned to her, his face unreadable. "Whose?" Tears filled her eyes. "Yours." Silence hung heavy. For the first time in years, Adrian felt the ground shift beneath him. A child. His child. In the middle of betrayal, blood, and vengeance. And suddenly, the stakes were higher than ever. The war with Marcus grew bloodier. Ambushes in alleyways, shootouts in rain-soaked streets, whispers of betrayal on both sides. The city trembled as the Ghost King fought his former brother. Through it all, Elena became both shield and weapon. Adrian kept her close, too close, needing her even as he hated her. Their nights together blurred the line between love and punishment, their bodies colliding with desperation that neither could escape. But Marcus wasn't finished. One night, Adrian returned to the penthouse to find a note on his desk. "She deserves the truth. Meet me where it all began." Beneath it, a photograph, Elena and Marcus, tangled together that first night of betrayal. Adrian's jaw tightened. The past wasn't finished with them. And this time, someone would not survive it. If you were Elena right now, caught between two men who once called each other brothers, whose side would you choose? The man you betrayed, or the man you betrayed him with? Tell me in the comments, because the climax is about to explode. Adrian steps out of the car, rain hammering against the leather roof like the drumbeat of a war no one can escape. The city is a blur of neon, wet asphalt, and echoes. Echoes of laughter, screams, and promises broken before they were ever kept. He keeps his hand tight around the note Marcus left on his desk. "She deserves the truth. Meet me where it all began." Adrian's jaw tightens. The words are simple, but the weight behind them could crush a man. He glances at Elena, who stands behind him in the shadows, her silhouette trembling. Her hands are pressed against her belly, her secret, their secret. She doesn't speak. She doesn't need to. Adrian can feel her fear, her desire, her loyalty and guilt tangled together like barbed wire. "Adrian," Elena whispers, voice breaking. "Be careful." He doesn't answer. He never does when steel and fire are about to collide. He moves toward the abandoned warehouse where Marcus waits, each step echoing against the wet concrete, each heartbeat a drum in the chest. The door creaks as Adrian pushes it open. Light spills in from fractured windows, illuminating Marcus, standing with his coat soaked and his eyes dark. No words, no hesitation, just the weight of history pressing between them. Adrian stops 10 feet away, eyes narrowing. Marcus. Adrian. Marcus's voice is calm, but it carries a storm beneath it. I told you, I didn't come here to fight. I came here to fix this. Adrian laughs short and sharp. Fix this? You've spent weeks spilling blood in my city. You've touched the one person I trusted most. Fix this? There's nothing left to fix. Elena steps forward, her hands raised as if to stop them, but both men ignore her. Her pulse races in her chest, matching the tension that crackles in the air. Marcus shakes his head. Adrian, I only ever wanted her safe. I only ever wanted. Adrian steps closer, fists clenched, eyes burning. Wanted her? You used her, Marcus. You violated her, violated me. You crossed a line that can't be uncrossed. Marcus meets his gaze without flinching. I didn't cross a line, Adrian. She chose. She wanted. Stop. Elena's voice is sharp, desperate. Stop it, both of you. But her words are swallowed by the storm raging between the two men. Adrian lunges first. Marcus reacts instantly. Fists clash. Feet shuffle across the wet floor, boots slipping against puddles. Every punch carries years of brotherhood and betrayal. Every grunt and breath a mixture of lust and fury. Adrian pins Marcus against the wall, his palm pressed into Marcus's chest. Their eyes lock. Rage and need bleed into one another. I trusted you, Adrian growls. I loved you like a brother, Marcus. And you, his voice breaks. You took her from me. Marcus's hands curl into Adrian's jacket. I never wanted to take her from you. I wanted her safe. Adrian's chest heaves. The warehouse is empty except for the storm outside and the echoes of their struggle. Then Marcus shoves Adrian away, and the momentum throws both men into a stack of wooden crates. The wood splinters beneath their weight. Elena moves closer, unable to tear her eyes away, her heart hammering in her chest. Adrian, please. But desire and rage tangle too tightly for reason to prevail. Adrian grabs Elena's hand, pulling her toward him in one violent motion. She yelps but doesn't resist. Their bodies collide with a desperation that is both punishment and surrender. He kisses her, and the world narrows to the taste of her, the feel of her, the reminder of what betrayal and lust have done to them. Elena gasps against him, fingers digging into his shoulders, pulling him closer, clinging to him like he could anchor her to life itself. Adrian's hands roam, desperate, possessive, punishing. But the pain and the pleasure blur together, a wildfire that leaves no room for clarity. Adrian, Elena breathes, trembling. Don't let this destroy us. I can't stop. Adrian growls, voice low and ragged. Even if I wanted to. Marcus watches, tension coiled in every muscle, his chest heaving. He doesn't move, doesn't speak, he just waits for the moment, for the right second to act, to reclaim or to surrender. But the moment never comes, because in the press of skin, in the ache and desire, the past and present collide. Elena whispers his name again, soft, urgent, shivering against him. And for the first time, Adrian feels it. Not anger, not betrayal, not rage. Just love. Just heat. Just the unbearable weight of need. And then reality crashes in. Marcus moves. A step forward, maybe just a gesture. Adrian misinterprets it. Paranoia floods his mind. The years of war, blood, betrayal. His hand snaps to the gun at his hip, fingers trembling. Elena! Adrian shouts, spinning, and the gun rises before he can think. Elena freezes, eyes wide, heart hammering. Marcus stops, hands in the air, just a fraction of a second too late. The shot echoes. Elena's scream pierces the warehouse as Adrian drops the gun, horror ripping through him. Marcus stumbles, but it's Elena who falls first, blood blossoming across her dress. Adrian catches her, cradling her in his arms, shaking, tears mingling with rain and blood. "Adrian, it's me." Her voice falters. "Not Marcus." The truth hits too late. Paranoia, rage, and heartbreak have done what nothing else could. Adrian rocks her gently, unable to speak, unable to undo what he's done. Marcus rushes forward, but Adrian holds up a shaking hand. "Don't." His voice breaks. She's mine, no, she's..." But the room is silent except for the sound of her failing breath. Adrian presses his forehead to hers, sobbing, trembling, broken. "I only ever wanted you, only you," he whispers, tears streaming. "Even when I hated you, it was still you." Elena's eyes flutter, a tear mingling with the red that stains her cheek. She smiles faintly, fragile. "I forgive you," and then she is gone. Marcus drops to his knees, grief and rage colliding in his chest. Adrian can't move, can't think. The warehouse, the rain, the blood. All of it swirls into one unbearable moment. The gun lies forgotten on the wet floor. The child inside Elena, now an uncertain heartbeat in a world gone mad. Adrian leans over her, whispering her name into the void, and the city outside continues on, oblivious to the lives shattered in that room. If you were Adrian right now, standing over the one you loved, realizing the truth too late, what would you do? Comment below with your choice, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the next chapter where the aftermath hits harder than ever. Adrian staggers back, rain-soaked hair plastered to his forehead, his chest heaving. Elena lies in his arms, lifeless, fragile as porcelain, blood spreading across her dress in a dark, pulsing stain. The warehouse feels like it's closing in, walls pressing down, the neon light from outside slicing through shattered windows in jagged beams. Every heartbeat thrums like a drum of war, but inside Adrian, there is only silence, only the unbearable ache of what he has done. Marcus kneels a few feet away, hands trembling, eyes wide with shock and guilt. "Adrian, she's gone." His voice cracks, raw and hollow. "It wasn't." "I know," Adrian whispers, voice breaking. His fingers clutch at Elena's hair, at her arms, desperate for any sign that she is still there, still breathing. I know, but there is nothing. Nothing except the wet floor beneath him, the echo of his gunshot, and the weight of his mistake pressing down like a mountain. Adrian lifts his head, staring at Marcus. The betrayal, the hatred, the war between them, all of it fades into the distance. Only grief remains. Why did you have to come back?" He chokes, tears streaming freely. "Why couldn't this just end without this?" Marcus shakes his head, voice breaking. "I came back because I thought I could fix it. I thought we could. He stops, the words dying in his throat. "I didn't mean for this." Adrian's fists clench so hard his knuckles whiten. "No, you never think, Marcus. You never think until it's too late. You take, you risk, and now..." His voice falters, the rage burning away into nothing but sorrow. Now she's gone. Elena's hand twitches faintly in his palm. Adrian freezes, hope igniting for a brief, fleeting second. He presses his ear to her chest, searching for a heartbeat that is already gone. His fingers tremble over her skin, soaking in warmth that is slipping away. "Elena," he whispers, voice a rasp, a prayer, a curse all at once. The child inside her stirs faintly. Adrian feels it, and it is the only tether left between him and the world. But the life inside Elena cannot undo the tragedy outside. His grief is too immense, his guilt too deep. Marcus crawls closer, voice hollow. "Adrian, please, I didn't know you'd..." Adrian lifts his head sharply, eyes wild, the storm outside mirrored in his gaze. Don't speak. Nothing. Just leave. Leave before I do something worse." Marcus hesitates, torn between fear, loyalty, and his own devastation. Then finally he nods, backing away. I'll go. he says softly, barely audible. I'm sorry for everything. Adrian watches him leave, every step echoing like a death knell. The warehouse feels impossibly large and empty now, the rain dripping through the broken roof in slow, cruel rhythm. He lowers Elena into his arms fully, rocking her gently despite knowing she won't wake. The intimacy they shared, the nights of passion and despair, the moments where hate and lust collided, everything flashes before his eyes, a cruel montage of love and loss. I loved you, Adrian whispers, lips brushing her hair. Even when I hated you, even when His words falter. There is nothing left to say. Time drifts. The storm outside rages on, but inside, only silence remains. Adrian sits with her, holding the broken pieces of his life, of their lives, of the life that could have been. His tears fall freely, washing over her, over him, over the world they have destroyed. The child inside Elena stirs again, faint but persistent. Adrian closes his eyes, pressing a trembling hand to her belly. I will protect this. I will protect them, he promises softly. Even if I can't protect you. Marcus's voice calls from the doorway, quiet, remorseful. Adrian, you need to leave her. At least for now. Let her. I won't leave her. Adrian snaps, voice breaking again. I won't leave her, Marcus. Not like this. But even as he says it, he knows the truth. Nothing can undo what has been done. Nothing can bring her back. The misjudgment, the snap of fear, the leap to violence, the misunderstanding has destroyed everything. Adrian leans over Elena one last time, pressing his forehead to hers, memorizing her warmth, the curve of her face, the softness that he will never touch again. I'm so sorry, he whispers. I'm so damn sorry. Outside, the storm begins to ease, leaving the city wet and quiet. The warehouse stands silent, a mausoleum to love, lust, betrayal, and a single tragic mistake. Adrian remains there with Elena, cradling her body, the child inside her the only fragile hope in a world of ashes. And somewhere in the distance, Marcus disappears into the night, carrying guilt heavier than any weapon, knowing he can never undo what has happened, knowing that the Ghost King has lost more than a battle. He has lost everything that once made him human. Adrian leans over Elena one last time, pressing his forehead to hers, memorizing her warmth, the curve of her face, the softness that he will never touch again. I'm so sorry, he whispers. I'm so damn sorry. Outside, the storm begins to ease, leaving the city wet and quiet. The warehouse stands silent, a mausoleum to love, lust, betrayal, and a single tragic mistake. Adrian remains there with Elena, cradling her body, the child inside her the only fragile hope in a world of ashes. And somewhere in the distance, Marcus disappears into the night, carrying guilt heavier than any weapon, knowing he can never undo what has happened, knowing that the Ghost King has lost more than a battle. He has lost everything that once made him human. If you were Adrian, holding the one you loved in your arms, knowing a single mistake destroyed everything, could you forgive yourself? Or would vengeance still burn inside you? Comment your thoughts, share this story with someone who loves high-stakes drama, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of MG's love stories, where every passion, betrayal, and heartbeat keeps you on the edge.